Marc Marquez at the moment towing around Diogo Moreira, the older generation, one of the elder statesmen in MotoGP now. Marquez 33 versus the rookie sensation from Brazil, Moto2 world champion Diogo Moreira. So much excitement and anticipation about what the Brazilian star can do in the future.
It's fair to say that the shakedown at Sepang, which is designed in a couple of ways, first of all to give test riders the chance to shake down the bikes, but also to give rookies a bit of a head start given how limited testing is. Diogo Moreira didn't exactly get that because he had technical problems throughout the Sepang shakedown. He then crashed at turn 5 during the Sepang test, and that is a fast old place to jump off your motorcycle. So Moreira, perhaps confidence taking a little bit of a knock at the first test, but he did pick things up nicely here in Buriram last weekend, getting himself down into the 29s, in a 1:29.9 by the end of the test here last weekend, and he's done a 30.3 so far this morning, just a second off the pace. And if Diogo Moreira is a second off the pace by the end of this afternoon, he's doing a very good job.
Absolutely, more than respectable from Moreira. A couple of riders finding a bit of late speed. Agura, one of them on circuit, who's just got turn 3 wrong. There was a factory Ducati ahead of him there, which might have just distracted Agura. On his previous lap, though, which was his 17th of this session, he did find a 1:29.695. That's pretty much a 5th place, just ahead of Marc Marquez. Further down, on also his 17th lap of the session, Luca Marini has found his best time of the morning, a 1:30.068. So that has pushed Marini up inside the top 10. A couple of spots clear of his teammate Joan Mir. Further down, some late improvements from a couple of the Yamahas, Jack Miller and Toprak Razgatlioglu. The two Pramac Yamaha colleagues have found a bit of late rhythm. Miller a 1:30.839. Toprak still trying to find his first 1:30 of this opening Grand Prix weekend.
Yeah, the Yamahas did creep into the 29s right at the end of the final day of testing here on Sunday. Fastest lap we saw from a Yamaha was Jack Miller on a 29.6, but by the time we get to the end of practice this afternoon, we're expecting lap times into the 1:28. Bez did a 28.6, which is 300 underneath the current official lap record of Pecco Bagnaia, a 28.7 that he set on his way to pole a couple of years ago as Mir gets the final corner all wrong.
Yeah, you could see there as he grabbed a handful of bright rear tyre up in the air, trying to get the bike. The Honda stopped into that final corner. A bit of frustration there for Joan. One of 5 MotoGP world champions, of course, once again featuring on this current grid. It may be a potential big reshuffle of next year's grid. A lot of talk that maybe Joan Mir might hold on to one of those factory Honda seats. Yeah, a bit of frustration there, a little bit of a wallop on the left handlebar. He said in pre-season testing, it's clear that Honda has made incremental steps. So you can see, I mean, that's actually pretty lame as far as me is concerned. At times last year, that rear tyre on that factory Honda was about 1.5 foot in the air. Spectacular ride to watch. When he's in full flow, when he's confident. I remember in Malaysia, into turn 9, he was Speedway style, wasn't he? Love watching Joan Mir. 2 podiums for him last year, of course. One of them being in that unforgettable Japanese Grand Prix for Marc Marquez when he won the World Championship. Here was Agura-san then, just said he picked up a bit of late speed and climbed up into the top 5. A 5th place is where he finished the Grand Prix here last year. You've got to be quick with that camera, sir, to catch these riders at over 200 miles an hour here in Buriram.
Aprilia's first, 3rd and 4th now. We don't want to get too excited just yet because this is only free practice 1, but as you saw at the bottom of your screens earlier on in the broadcast, we've never seen an Aprilia rider stand on a podium at this Buriram circuit. They will be highly disappointed if that stat doesn't change this weekend.
Amazing that, isn't it, really, when you think about what we've been racing here since 2018. A best of 5th is the CV here for Aprilia. That was from Agura 12 months ago. I mean, there was a time, wasn't there, when we came to these tropical climates, Lewis, where the Aprilia was unrideable. They had those overheating issues. Was it here not too long ago when Maverick Vinales, later Spargaro, couldn't complete the race? They had to pull in. It was just that they could not cope with the barrage of heat coming off that factory Aprilia. Another area where the engineers in the Wale have taken gigantic leaps forward.
Yeah, they really have put their expertise and the technology that, of course, they're benefiting from to good use to make steps forward with that motorcycle, and they are going to top this free practice 1 session here in Buriram. In many respects, it's a bit of a free practice 3, because you can count Saturday and Sunday of the test as the first 2 practice sessions, and this the first official session. Marc Marquez, he ends the morning in 6th place, but we'll expect much more from him when the visor goes down in competitive practice action later.
These two know each other, training back at home in Spain, but this is a real master and apprentice scenario here, as Moreira and Aya Bastianini going lock to lock there on the Tech 3 KTM. Where did Anaya end in that session? 15th. He set the exact same lap time, actually, as French Grand Prix winner and French star Johann Zarco. Well, it was the perfect way to end the 2026 pre-season here in Thailand for Marco Bezzecchi, as he occupied P1.